That's right, boy. That's right. We gonna get down. Oh, that's damn right, boy. That's damn right, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, you dang right, boy. You rang about that. Out there, President Trump, he knows what he's talking about, boy. You some bitchin' right, boy. You make me come over there. I'll take this dip out, boy. I'll take this dip out. Some bitch, you make me waste the dip. I'm coming over there. You're out of your shithead mind. You think any of them colors gonna vote for my President Trump? You damn sick in the dang shit-stained head, boy. You understand that? You hear me talking to you? Some bitch. That's right, boy. Ain't none of them black folk voting for my white President Trump. What's wrong with you, boy? Y'all your shit and tar head mind, boy? Shit. I read the newspapers. I watch the TVs.
We were here done by them with heart like murder chains.
Some bitch. I see my President Trumps. That's right, boy. I seen him down there at Mount Rushmore's. There's American history, boy. You understand that? Trump pushes racial division, flouts virus rules at Rushmore. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day. This is one of a few shows or quick videos coming up from Covert Radio. Just, I'm oozing with freedom this year, and I've never been more grateful of the physical prison we are now in. You know, for many years, it was only a mental prison, but now we are mentally enslaved and physically imprisoned. Woo! You got any of them firecrackers, boy? Some bitch. They sell them everywhere. Gonna make me take this dip out, boy. There's something wrong with me. There's about 100 people that live inside me, and I do all I can not to leave them out. Sometimes they just come out. I don't know what they're saying. I don't even know what's going to come out of their mouth next. Did you guys know that only white people can vote for President Trump? Did you know that? Somebody has to clue these oblivious people in that it doesn't work anymore. I really believe they think it's like, you know, we're not getting into that, and we'll get into that in another video, but I feel like these people think that it's still like 1980, and they can print whatever they want and people believe it. They can produce whatever news, story they want and people believe it. They can hire any miscreant or provocateur or actor that they want, and people believe it. Like, hi, my name's Billy Parker, Willie Parker, whatever his name was. Getting into character. Look into it. Trump pushes racial division, flouts virus rules at Rushmore. And it took 2 trendies to write this story, Stephen Groves and Darlene Superville. one storming and, oh, how about we say this? Oh, how about we say this next? Oh, here, hold my cocoa. Let me push my black rimmed glasses up. We're really gonna get him. But the problem is nobody believes this. Do you think that there are no Mexican people or Chinese, South American, whatever, Asian, white, black people that vote for Trump when over 50% of the country voted for him a few years ago? But this time, only whites. Let me get one of them whites only presidents. We're going to quickly go over this. Trump pushes racial division, flouts virus rules. At Rushmore, this was an hour ago from the Associated Press. And there's some fireworks. Fireworks light the sky at Mount Rushmore National Memorial, Friday, July the 3rd, 2020, near Keystone, South Dakota, after President Donald Trump spoke. It's a nice picture. Let's see another one here. I don't know if I want to get into all this. That's a nice, it's a nice picture. That's a nice picture. If I would have looked at these, I would have photoshopped him into stone and I would have added that angle there. Oh, how nice. That is nice. There we go. But I just want to get into these oblivious psychosis by the media and these writers and the people who publish this garbage. I'm going to please spend a minute with me to 2 minutes. We're going to quickly go over this because I'm going to show you what it actually says. Mount Rushmore National Memorial, South Dakota, AP. At the foot of Mount Rushmore on the eve of Independence Day, President Donald Trump made a direct appeal to disaffected white voters. President Donald Trump made a direct appeal to disaffected white voters 4 months before Election Day. Hey, white people, this is only for you. I'm only talking to the whites. Just like Biden said. What'd he say? Here, did he put on his dashiki scarf and forget George Floyd's name 2 weeks after the guy's dead? And these communists are burning the country down, but they still forgot George Floyd's name. Schumer, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Biden can't even remember what he had for lunch. But if you don't vote for Biden, then you ain't black. And they try so hard to bring I almost said tyrant Obama out of retirement. Obama out of retirement. Him and Michael are going to come out, Michelle are going to come out of retirement, and Michelle's going to be the VP pick, and everything will align. The stars will align because then you'll have the first vice president misses in the White House, and through the vice presidency, Michelle Obama can again do nothing for black women or men for 8 years. And again, do nothing for the black children and police brutality and education and poverty for another 8 years. Except dance with the bulge on Ellen. And light the White House up into rainbow colors. Which just coincides with the Noah Hyde laws. Isn't that funny? But we're not going to get into that now either. And just like the BLM is now the BLM LGBTQ, it's all been hijacked. But has it been hijacked, or is this just the progression? Again, Donald Trump made a direct appeal to disaffected white voters, only white voters, 4 months before election day, accusing protesters who have pushed for racial justice of engaging in a merciless campaign to wipe out our history. That there's no truer statement. There is no truer statement. a bunch of dolts, double-digit IQ idiots who are being completely led around by their nose by Marxist and communist, who are putting funds, opening up bank accounts in every major city for bail. These billionaires and millionaires keep giving the BLM and all these, these terrorist groups, Antifa, they keep putting money in accounts for bail so you can go and continue to tear down statues, federal property that the government's doing nothing about. Trying to erase America's history, deface and erase. It is a merciless, organized campaign. You are 100% right, President Trump. And it is to wipe out our history. Absolutely 100% true. The president dug further into American divisions Friday, offering a discordant tone to an electorate battered by a pandemic and wounded by racial injustice following the high-profile killings of black people. Okay, oh my God, offering a discordant tone to an electorate battered by a pandemic. I'm not battered by a pandemic. And millions of other people that I see are not battered by your pandemic. I read a sign the other day. Somebody sprayed this on the side of a building. It says, you want a cure for COVID? Turn off the news. It's cured. It goes away. That is the disease. Again, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not getting into that. Look into it. But following the high-profile killings of black people, the high-profile, which the media only focuses on killings, and when a cop, there's a black man wants to fight the police, wants to disobey lawful orders, wants to drop a bunch of dope on the ground. Wants to be drunk passing counterfeit money, and he was killed by a cop that was using detainment techniques taught to him by the Israeli army, training which was paid for by the ADL. This is all 100% true. It is a tragedy, but the way they word this as if people are stupid and they don't understand reality is, what the problem is, again, these people are oblivious. They don't live in reality. We all know that the racial injustice following the high-profile killings of black people is only due to the controlled media. Because there have been many injustices since the rioting started and the communists started going crazy, of white people getting hurt, white people getting killed, old white women being pushed down, holding a walker, trying to walk down the street, people being sucker punched, dumb kids with an IQ of 2 digits, like an 88 point IQ. Dum-dums out there getting whitey because they have been told by their... Don't get me started. Just don't get me started. The only reason there's high-profile killings of black people, as if there's whites and cops hunting black people in the street, which is a total fucking joke, and it doesn't happen. It's never happened. But the Zionist-controlled media wants to continue to try to brainwash people that this is reality. We know what reality is, okay? But he zeroed in on the desecration by some protesters of monuments and statues across the country that honor those who have benefited from slavery, including some past presidents. So let me ask you this. If one day they outlaw Wall Street, if one day they abolish Wall Street and IPOs and all this crooked, dirty shit that happens and changes entire economies of countries, and you have to be an insider to really understand how it works and not get robbed, and it's only a game of Monopoly with other people's money. It's a rich man's casino. Wall Street. What if one day people wake up and they're like, well, this has destroyed the country. This has destroyed the middle class. This has destroyed the housing market. Any street you want to go down in America, you will see 1 to 3 houses per block for sale. Nobody in them. Junk bonds and all kinds of corporate raiding and corruption and, pump and dump scams, hedge fund scams. Let's say we make it illegal one day, okay? It's completely outlawed. Wall Street is abolished. So are we going to tear down monuments and statues across the country from those who have benefited from Wall Street, including some past presidents? That's the way it was. Right or wrong, that is part of this country's history. And I know you want to destroy it and remove it so you can bring your communist Zionist bullshit in here and have this become a Zionist utopia for debauchery and your filth, your Hollywood bullshit, garbage, pornography, and more immorality, homosexuality, transgender, anything anti-Christian, like McJesus hanging in your Israeli funded museum. I know you want to turn this country into Tel Aviv, but there are still millions and millions of moral, caring, loving, family-oriented Christians of all races, all genders in this country, who are never going to allow you willingly to destroy this country much further. And you're so oblivious and delusional that you think you can run garbage like this and it's going to somehow just bizarrely brainwash people into believing this is real. It's not real. We all know what's real. Read the comments. That's the way this country was set up years ago. Yes, right or wrong, left or right, Wall Street or not. Once it's outlawed, okay. Everybody changed, things change. So everybody's so all of a sudden, what's cancel culture? Okay, Trump even mentions it. I see in the next sentence or two. Everybody's so up in arms about, and everybody's so sensitive now all of a sudden. But I'm still baffled that these corporations who supposedly care, and now they care, this year they care. Hundreds of years they don't give 2 fucks about black people or the plight, the struggle. They don't care. And it's something as simple as creating different shades of Band-Aids, as if a person with melanin in their skin, to any degree, wouldn't want to hide a wound, wouldn't want a Band-Aid to blend in, so they got to get the white color. As a white person, it never crossed my mind. But now looking into it, they have been petitioned and asked for decades to make a broader tint of Band-Aid. They never did it until this year, right? This is the year, simultaneously destroying the country. People weren't stupid. People aren't stupid. Okay? You can use black people again like you did in the first Civil War. Lincoln was abolishing the slavery. Yeah, that's what it was, right? It wasn't another globalist takeover. It wasn't a consolidation of power. It wasn't to reel in the states forcefully that have seceded from the taxation and the usury. Again? Right? Same thing. Nothing's changed. They're going to use black people again. Listen, we're not getting into this. This movement is openly attacking the legacies of every person on Mount Rushmore, Trump said. He lamented cancel culture and charged that some of the political left hope to defame our heroes, erase our values, and indoctrinate our children. Again, 100% factual truth. You cannot rely on information your children are being taught. You cannot rely on vaccines that are given to them. You cannot rely on people who are you entrust around them. This is all because of the chipping away of the morality of this country. Ask anybody that grew up in the 50s and 60s. Oh, we left our windows and doors open all summer. Not even a piece of bread would be missing when you got up in the morning. Now you have to button, lock, alarm, shut, cameras, record, guns, chain, wedge, booby trap. 40, 50 years later, look who's in control. Look who just gave their own country $38 billion. Look who controls the media. Look who controls Hollywood. Look who controls music. And now look who's telling you that only white people can vote for Trump. These are the same people that, 5, 8, 10 years ago was having Rihanna sing songs about S&M. Whips and chains excite me and all this shit right on the radio. You want your little 7, 8-year-old daughter sitting in the back seats talking about the smell of sex excites me and whips and chains and all this shit sung by Rihanna. S&M, all this shit. This is them. This is who they are. This is not the moral fabric of this Christian country. And if that's what you love and you want your little girl singing about S&M and whips and chains, move to Tel Aviv, where it's acceptable there. Move to another country. But see, it's almost too late. There's only a faction of people that understand what's really happening. It's a constant attack on our morality, our families, our children, our wives, our morality, our family, our children's, our wives. Attack. Destroy. No more free speech. No more gathering. No more nothing. No more stores. No more businesses. No more self-employment. No more middle class. Gone. No more having a garden. No more fucking catching rainwater. Illegal. Gone. Here's your cancer-causing powder for your baby. Here's your satanic music. Here's your immoral and debaucherous movies that we fill your minds with. The end. Zombies, the end. Death, the end. Zombies, the end. Death, the end. Robots, artificial intelligence. Why you fat American docile slobs are going to be, ain't I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. Later on tonight, after 25 beers and your weaponized weed and 20 minutes of porn and whatever other chemicals and shit you slop into your fat, lazy, docile mouth. That's what you're free to do. Free to have media like this dominated by one tribe, one group of people on this planet, a very small group. But they're the most evil and satanic beings on this planet. And the Bible even named them the synagogue of Satan, to which they hide behind their blue demonic star of Remphan. No other time in history, have they proven finally, and I'm actually happy it took, this, I'm happy it happened now, put it that way, because you woke a lot of people up a little bit too soon, and you're going to have a problem now. Because now we know where the cards are stacked. Now we know. We now know that you're not free to freely elect a president of the United States. We now know that because for 4 years, continuous attack. You have no right to choose, slave, debt slave. You hear me? Talking to you, dummy. Because they'll show you censorship. Just like this video, I could be wasting my time. Where are we at into this? Hopefully 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. I won't even know if this will make it out to the internet. Who knows? But I just wanted to show you this article. You're not allowed to vote for Trump unless you're white. That's what they're saying. He lamented cancel culture and charged that some on the political left hope to defame our heroes, erase our values, and indoctrinate our children. He said Americans should speak proudly of their heritage and shouldn't have to apologize for its history. I don't apologize for nothing. We will not be terrorized. We will not be demeaned, and we will not be intimidated by bad, evil people, Trump added. It will not happen. And I actually have a feeling that it's not going to happen. I really do. So we're going to see. The speech and fireworks at Mount Rushmore came against the backdrop of a... See, they can't stop themselves. Came against the backdrop of a pandemic that has killed over 125,000 Americans. The flu kills more Americans every year. Drunk driving, accidents, car vehicle accidents kill more Americans every year. But this is what they shut the entire country. We're still under house arrest, and they wiped out the entire middle class. But Amazon continues to make their billions. Walmart is essential. Your church is an essential slave. The Romans did the same thing. And here, we'll cut you off $1,200. We print it 24 hours a day. The printing machines never stop. But yeah, here you go. Anyway, where are we at? The president flew across the nation to gather a big crowd of supporters, most of them maskless, because, and all of them flouting public health guidelines that recommend not gathering in large groups. I don't like it. See, again, you're oblivious. Like, what bubble retardo world do you live in? You don't have this much power anymore. You sound foolish and you look ridiculous. We all know the truth. Nobody believes the fake news anymore. You can't. The white Trump supporters were flouting public health guidelines, but for the last month and a half, 2 months, there's been tens of thousands of 20-somethings running around with double-digit IQs, hugging and jumping and But please, come on, man. You think we're stupid? The discord was heightened as the Trump campaign confirmed during the president's speech that Kimberly Guilfoyle, a top fundraiser for the campaign and the girlfriend of Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., had tested positive for the coronavirus while in South Dakota. And so will 90-some% of the rest of the country test positive. But is it accurate? Is it testing for antibodies we already have? Who made the test? There's so many holes in your bullshit. So people are who cares? Trump Jr., who serves as top surrogate for the president, are isolating themselves and have canceled public events, according to Sergio Gore, chief of staff at the Trump campaign's finance committee. During the speech, the president announced he was signing an executive order to establish the National Garden of American Heroes, a vast outdoor park that will feature the statues of the greatest Americans to ever live. So, again, this is part of Agenda 21 right here. This is because, again, I didn't vote. You know what I mean? This is perfectly clear. I've been perfectly clear about this. I don't have any delusions of Trump. Trust me. The vast outdoor park that will feature the statues of the greatest Americans to ever live. So when you say vast outdoor park, Agenda 21 vast, are we talking 3/4 of some state that's now going to be regulated government property and government land? So this is what they're doing. It's constant taking over land. And they're going to get everybody compacted into smaller, tight areas. That's all written. It's been a plan for many, 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 many years. Agenda 21. Hunger Games. Hunger Games is based off of a world that's already past Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. Then you have the Hunger Games, where 80-some% of the entire United States is government controlled property. You don't live there. You don't have a farm. You're not allowed to farm. Farming's illegal. Yeah. Because I can't. Amid the campaign headwinds, the president has sharpened his focus on his most ardent base of supporters as concern grows inside his campaign that his poll numbers in the battleground states that will decide the 2020 election are slipping. Well, you've done everything you could to make sure that happens, and it's still not going to work. And then we're about a few weeks away from the actual civil war, because when Trump wins again in a few months, when he wins again, do you remember all the people crying to them, falling to the ground and flipping like fish out of water and holding each other and bawling and shitting their pants and saying how they're going to leave the country, and all the celebrities that said they're leaving the country, none of which have, if Trump won 2016, they're still all here. What do you think's going to happen this time, after these people have already been empowered and funded with literally millions and millions and millions of dollars now in a war chest? See, this was all a test run. This is all a run-up to the big event. When Trump wins, the civil war is going to start. Mark my words. So right now we have about, 128 days, 125 days, somewhere around in there. You better get ready. Trump in recent weeks has increasingly lashed out at left-wing mobs, used a racist epithet to refer to the coronavirus, and visited the nation's southern border to spotlight progress on his 2016 campaign promise to build a U.S.-Mexican border wall that nobody else wants, because it's free labor, cheap labor for Wall Street. The event, while not a campaign rally, had the feel of one, as the friendly crowd greeted Trump with chants of 4 more years and cheered enthusiastically as he and the First Lady, Melania Trump, took the stage. They think the American people are weak and soft and submissive, Trump said. But no, the American people are strong and proud, and they will not allow our country and all of its values, history, and culture to be taken from them. Republican Governor Kristi Noem echoed Trump's attacks against his opponents who are trying to wipe away the lessons of history. Make no mistake, this is being done deliberately to discredit America's founding principles by discrediting the individuals who formed them, she said. The small town of Keystone, which lies a couple of miles from the monument, was buzzing with people Friday, hoping to catch a glimpse of the fireworks and the president. Many wore pro-Trump t-shirts and hats. Few wore masks. And I'm done after this. I didn't think this part was way down here. This is going to rank up in the top 4th of Julys that I talk about, said Mike Stewart, who brought his family from Nebraska. Here, this I'm going to tell you what this really says. I'm reading with my third eye here. You ready? Paid operative Mike Harris of whatever, he says he's from Rapid City. Okay, so, but in black and white, it says Mike Harris of Rapid City. But what it's really telling you is paid operatist, paid provocateur, possibly paid agent, who calls himself Mike Harris, who says he's from Rapid City, who also said he's a Republican. So White Mike from Rapid City, the Republican, White Mike. He wore his mask and he waved an anti-Trump flag. He also was sporting a handgun on each hip. Boom, boom, look at me. He said he was worried the event would spark a COVID-19 outbreak. Here's Mikey's words. I think it's a bad example being set by our president and our governor, Harris said. Well, gee whiz. Where'd you get that big gun at? Like, so angry. Like, why would you bring like 2 big guns like that on your hip? I mean, I know you're a Republican. I could just tell because Republicans think like you do. They're just so anti-Trump and they're so afraid of the coronavirus. They're just so afraid of it. And most Republicans that are woke, yes, they're so worried. They're so worried about COVID-19. They're so worried about an outbreak. Okay? Not real. Not real. Mike Harris probably wasn't even there. Mike Harris is a figmentation, again, more fake news from these lunatics. Oh, wait, God, now they have Native Americans there too. President is putting our tribal members at risk on stage. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, that's that. I got a few more videos coming up. But, you know, let's make sure we celebrate our freedom this year, really. Let's make sure we do that. Let's give thanks that we're regulated by a private mafia organization of banker families, and we're so in debt we'll never get out of it. I had a close family member die almost 3 years ago, and they are still trying to collect money. Let's celebrate our freedom to not work. We have no industry. We have no jobs. Let's celebrate the fact that we have no houses or we can barely afford them. Right? We're going to make America great. Let's celebrate the fact that our media is owned and operated by a single tribe of people who are a tribe of satanic, immoral beings. Right? I'm Covert Radio. If you guys would like to support this type of media, become a Patreon. You guys take care. Have a good day.